Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the Fire Emblem Three Houses Azure Moon playthrough. 100% everybody in a night type masterclass. Now, between last stream and this stream I did actually play a bit offline. This is because we have reached the beginning of chapter 9, which is when we get access to the Fistful of Fish event, which basically allows us to get several fish per catch, which also means multiple Professor XP per catch. And yeah, basically I decided to do that offline because it's 2.5 hours of just fishing, which is super boring. But I did get through it, so let's load into our save file. I did the fishing, I also did the gardening because it's right next door and there's nothing interesting there anyway. But aside from that, I did not proceed anymore in the save file. So we are now at the beginning of chapter 9, rapidly approaching the end of the main story, of the first part of the main story. So we're really gonna have to work on getting those paralogues done, because otherwise we're not gonna be able to do all the pre-skip paralogues in time before the time skip. So yeah, here we are. And if you look at Byleth's sheet right now, you will see that we have managed to get all the way to Professor level A, which means we can now have 3 adjutants. We have 9 explore points, we have the maximum amount of lesson points, but we still only have 2 battle points, and this is really the important part. Like, I literally don't care about any other bonuses that come from the A+ level of Professor rank, except for the upgrade from 2 battle points to 3 battle points. That one is the most important one. We still need about 8,000 experience points to get there, so for this month we're gonna have to focus a lot on having meals, on just getting that experience and just trying to get through it as quick as possible. Now I'm gonna start with some inventory management because we are going to need to battle a lot. And as usual, we begin our exploration by making sure that everybody's appearance is set to somewhere younger. This will help us distinguish who is actually already part of our class and who is not. Just makes it a little easier visually, so I know who I have to recruit. And of course we talk to Sophis.
Tomas. No, Solon, was it not? And the Flame Emperor. It is most clear that something has transpired, and it relates to you somehow. Or is the fault my own, and you're just caught inside the wave? Sophis, the goddess of this world. I bear her name. How confusing. I feel as though my head has turned to mush.
Yeah, Sophis, you are the goddess. I'm sorry to break this to you, but literally you are. So, looking at the quests, this is also the month where we have the White Heron Cup. There are 2 important things to note here. Number 1, the White Heron Cup is a dance competition where you need at least 13 charm to win it. You can get 5 charm by training with Manuela. So you need a character who has at least a base 8 charm. And it is almost impossible to have a character at this level who does not have these kind of charm points. Unless you're doing a Byleth solo run, you are almost certainly guaranteed to have somebody. Faculty staff are not allowed to participate in this, so if you were trying to make Catherine your dancer, that's not going to work. The dancer class has 2 advantages. Number 1, they can dance in order to make another character have another move, which is going to be irrelevant for us because we want to put everyone into night type master classes. And second one is that they can get sword Evo plus 20. Now this is really good if you have somebody who has swords. Ferdinand, for example, can make an amazing dodge tank. Ingrid can make an amazing dodge tank if you have this. The problem is, I don't have anybody who's going to be using swords. So instead, we are going to give the role of dancer for this contest to the person with the most hilarious dialogue. And that's gonna be Dimitri. So he's gonna be the last one we talk to today. Also, at the same time, we have the ball, which is shortly after the Heron Cup. And the ball, basically, there's a Goddess Tower legend where if a man and a woman make a wish together at the Goddess Tower during the ball, the wish will come true. And so you get a choice of whom you're going to meet in that tower. It has to be someone who's either part of your house and has a C support with you, or somebody who's not part of your house and has a B support with you. And they need to be able to get a ending with you. So if you're a female Byleth, for example, and you have a B support with Leonie, doesn't count. You can't. If you don't have anybody who have sufficient support with, or if you pick no one, you will instead meet up with your house leader. They are basically the default choice. There's a bit more complicated stuff going on in the background if you absolutely desperately try to avoid gaining support with people, but that's a bit more complicated. If you want to hear about that, let me know, and I'll gladly give a breakdown of it, because I did that for Tumblr at one point. But the basics is you can either pick who you want, or you will get your house leader. That's how this basically goes. This is a very easy quest, and these are all still battle quests, so no, this is an easy one, this is an easy one, and these are all battle quests, these three, so yeah. Not much else to do here. So let's just move on, and I hope I will actually remember not to talk to Dimitri until we have talked to everybody else, because you get a bunch of different dialogue from people in regards to this dance event. Also, fun fact, if you have recruited the Ashen Wolves, they will appear outside of Abyss in this chapter. If you have not recruited them, they will be inside Abyss. So that's a very quick way for you to check, but then again, they are basically free to recruit in chapter 2, so why would you not? Unless you absolutely don't like them.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Mr. Backup doesn't come by anymore, which is fine. Not incredibly rude or anything. Nope, just fine.
And I think we also have a meal event going on, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Yeah, you can see we have a shit ton of paralogues, so that's not gonna help. Bonding bites. Effects enhanced when dining with students from your own house. Well, that is fairly useless. That is very useless, actually, but we're still gonna do it for the Professor XP.
They're having a lot of fun up on the surface, aren't they? Some kind of grand ball.
Either that or...
Picture them all relaxing, having a drink, getting to dance with people they fancy. If I showed my face up there, Knights would have my head in a second.
So we're either gonna be having a lot of meals, or we're going to be doing a lot of tournaments, because I think, if I remember correctly, tournaments give more Professor XP than meals. Hang on, where are you? Oh, she.
When I snuck into the monastery a while back, I saw a girl there the same age as me. She was crying. I couldn't believe it. How could you ever cry in a place like that, where there's always food on the table?
She's like, third world problems, what are you doing? Oh, first world problems, I should say. How can you cry when you always have food on the table?
Hey you! This is our last occasion to speak. I am ordered to be leaving. They are thinking I am the follower of an evil god. It is not so, but they are not understanding.
Oh. Sorry, foreign grammary who sounds like you're from Bridget, or at least somewhat near there. I'm sorry, you were one of my favorite NPCs, so yeah, I'm always sad to see this woman leave, and this is the last time you will see her in Abyss. So sad. Also, I just realized we have a support that we haven't watched. I'm gonna have to check what that is. Alright. Let me see. Oh, it's to do in the net. Okay. Let's watch that right now. Let's go.
Hi, Dudu. I wanted to thank you again for helping me out the other day. Everything was ready in time for dinner, and we all agreed the food was really tasty.
I barely did anything.
That's silly talk. With just a few ingredients, you made an amazing meal. I could never have done it. No way. You deserve all the praise in the world.
I still have much to learn. Truly delicious food brings a smile to people's faces. Until I see His Highness smile in that way, I will spare no effort to improve.
Well, if that's your aim, you're in luck. I've seen him shovel in your food with gusto. You must be really ambitious if you're not satisfied with that meal. I'd love for you to teach me your ways. I want to be a great cook too.
Your skills are not the problem. You merely make errors of negligence.
Well, sure, I know that. But how can I stop making those errors? No matter how hard I try, I always seem to mess things up. The pan explodes when I cook. I forget my purse when I go shopping. That's just how life is for a scatterbrain like me. Just the other day, I was nearly laughed off the training ground for wearing mismatched shoes. My uncle used to sigh in despair when he saw me messing something up.
You simply fail to pay attention to your surroundings. Ensure the pan is on the flame and that the knives are put away properly. Look at yourself in the mirror before you go out to make certain you have what you need. Everyone makes mistakes, but yours should be easy enough to correct.
That's all great advice. Thank you, Dadu. You really have a kind
He
heart.
really does.
At first I thought you were so stern all the time.
Am I that imposing?
Well, a bit. Maybe if you smiled sometimes. All you have to do is lift up the corners of your mouth. Like this. See?
There's also the fact that the duo is something like 6'5" and Annette is something like 5'1" or something like this. So these two are actually like an ant and a giant.
I see. I will try it.
Ah, the duo. Bless you, you are amazing. Also, this is our last month that we can get the bee support with Rhea, so we will try to do that. Although I'm not sure if I still need to get any teaching from her. Because we do have our required faith and reason ranks. I no longer need brawling, I no longer need sword, so... I guess I can have one more instruction with her to unlock my faith talent. But it's not like I'll ever need faith after I recruit Lysithia. Because Lysithia is literally the only reason why I'm even leveling my faith rank in the first place. Because I want to make sure that I can recruit her, so, you know. Alright.
What's this about? The ball? Knights don't participate. It's an event for students, but it does pique the interest of some knights in particular.
Too much merriment. The librarian betrayed us, the Death Knight is back. Is this the time to be throwing a ball?
Alright, we don't want this one. What's the other one? A silver shield for a black magic tournament. Huh. That is literally one of the worst tournaments ever, but okay. Another thing about this dancing competition tournament thing. If you want... If you want to make somebody a dancer, they should be somebody who is good with swords, somebody who can use magic, because dancers can use magic, and who is otherwise not very useful on the battlefield. So, your best options for the Blue Lions is probably Annette, because while I love Annette, she is not a particularly great mage. This item belongs to Ignatz. And for the Black Eagles, it would be Dorothea. Because she has Physic and Meteor, but other than that, she has basically nothing going for her.
It's true that Tomas was employed here under the recommendation of House Ordelia. But that's all I know of the topic. I never even seen him prior to enrolling here. Even when he was supposedly in Ordelia territory, I never once saw him there. I'm still feeling bothered by all of this. But there's not much else I can say about it right now.
Makes sense.
Ah, the long-awaited ball.
Finally an opportunity to showcase my exquisite skills on the dance floor. These skills were ingrained in me when I was a boy. My hands and feet move on pure instinct.
Lawrence is probably the best dancer among the Golden Deer because he also otherwise does not really have much of a niche to go into. He can become a Dark Knight, but both his magic growths and his strength growths are not really impressive, so if you need a dancer for the Golden Deer, Lawrence is a good choice.
Some scary things have been happening lately. I hope that this month, of all months, is peaceful. The ball is coming up and everything, although I'm not much of a dancer, actually.
It's almost time for the ball. Oh my, am I excited!
This being a school, we don't have many chances to get dressy.
Do I actually have a lost item for her? Let me see. No. No. Wow. Okay. You don't believe the rumors about Tomas? Well, that is entirely your choice, my dude. That belongs to Annette.
Legend has it that long ago, a female student from the academy met with a mysterious man at the Goddess Tower. They fell in love at first sight and were bound together forever after. But that's not the really interesting part. The incredible part is that the man was apparently the Adrestian Emperor himself. Oh, what I wouldn't give to fall in love at first sight with a splendid and powerful gentleman. I want my own fairy tale romance, and I want it now.
I love this NPC. But interesting thing, if you play as the Black Eagles, this precise story that she just told us is what Edelgard will tell you about how her parents met. That, oh, they were both at the academy, but then they've met at the Goddess Tower and instantly fell in love, and oh, it was so wonderful. And I'm like, you are literally trying to sell me a local legend about a time long ago as the story of how your parents met. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that for a fucking second, especially considering some of the later events.
Everyone's in such a festive mood. I feel a bit out of my element here. I can't help but worry something might happen while we're all distracted. After all, our enemies are always plotting.
You don't say.
Still, this air of levity is much more agreeable than the grim atmosphere of late.
Alright, let's go to Rhea and let's finally accept that quest.
Really?
Before the ball, it is customary that we host a competition of dance known as the White Heron Cup. The students are quite fond of this tradition. Each house must select a representative to compete. Their dance shall be judged by its beauty, grace, and technique. The student who is deemed the winner will be given the opportunity to train as a dancer, should they so please. It is a very precious thing, the gift of dance. I hope that you and your students will choose to participate. May I ask a favor?
Yeah, let's take the quest. And I don't actually want to waste any points on... Why do I... Oh, I only have 7 points because I leveled up during my fishing stuff. Yeah, okay, makes sense. I don't want to waste any points on training with her right now because I really do need to get I really do need to get my Professor XP up to A+. This is Faculty and Night Mixer. Ugh. It's also not exactly great. Well, this kind of sucks.
I have looked into Tomas, but I just cannot make sense of this at all. From his behavior up until now, I never would have suspected that a man like him could turn on us. I have also discovered that his appearance has changed. It is almost as if he is not even human. What in the world is going on?
We will find out eventually, or well, at least we will find out in the Golden Deer, in Verdant Wind and Silver Snow. In Azure Moon, I'm not even sure. I don't think you learn the truth ever, so we're gonna get to that when we get to the time skip. Oh, free Professor XP from a book. I will take that. Gladly. This belongs to Cyril.
Gerig Mark Monastery is said to have been completed during the ethereal moon. Why, 995 years ago, as a matter of fact. That's rather a long time ago, don't you think? Every year, a ball is held to celebrate the founding, and every 100 years, a very special celebration takes place. It's a grand festival involving all of Gerig Mark. It is thrilling to read of past festivals, and I'm rather excited to experience one for myself. Once in a lifetime, eh? The next one in 5 years will mark a millennium. Should be quite an event. Do you imagine you'll still be here teaching
then? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That is a question that is very dangerous to answer in this game. Alright, let's see if there are any more books lying around. Oh, Faded Star Chart. That belongs to Rhea. We're gonna give that away right away. This belongs to Linhardt. We're also gonna give that back as soon as possible. And that reminds me, I still need to recruit Linhardt as well. Who do I still need to recruit, actually? Linhardt, Bernadetta, these two I'm not worried about because... Well, I'm a bit worried about getting to recruit them because I still need to level up both for Bernadetta, but both of them have paralogues after the time skip, so it's not that urgent. Lawrence and Raphael have pre-time skip paralogues, so I definitely need to recruit them fast. Lysithia, Marianne and Hilda have a bit more time. Sedef I can auto-recruit in chapter 12, he will auto-recruit in chapter 13, and he can be recruited in chapter 11, so at least as far as the faculty is concerned, we are done. We just really need to recruit Lawrence and Raphael fairly quickly.
Nah, Tomas wouldn't betray the church. I don't believe it. I won't believe it. There's some people in the church who hate people like me who are from Elmira, but Tomas was always real kind. But if he really was Lady Rhea's enemy, well, I'd defend her against anybody, no matter how kind they'd been in the past.
Cyril, please don't ever change, you're adorable. Okay. Wait, can I actually...
Not. There's some, but...
Can I actually motivate you with lost items? Do I have enough of those?
Hey, that's mine. Thanks for finding it.
Okay, number one, and then we have the old cleaning cloth. Wherever it is. There we go.
Hey, that's mine.
Perfect. Nice doing business with you, Zero. Alright, let's give Rhea her start chart back and see if maybe that will get us the required support points, for I doubt it.
Before the student, it is the...
Lost items, faded star chart, where is it? There.
Yes, that is sure.
Nope, not quite enough. Alright. We might actually have to end up dumping some gifts on her in order to get her support, but I really do want to get that support because I feel like hers is a support line that a lot of people don't bother to see because a lot of people don't like Rhea. So I do want to try to get it.